Scootchie!
You? Who are you? Did he send you?
I'm Scoochimus and nobody sent me.
Thank Juno you're here. You have to help me
Juno?
escape before that monster comes back.
What is going on here?
I'm Scintilla. I found a way out through the Gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
Who did this to you?
Sentius, my adoptive father.
What?
Furies, help me. I'll castrate and crucify him.
What? How hasn't this broken the golden rule?
I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape either.
Where is the way out?
Behind me. There's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key.
What will you do if I release you?
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it. I'm done caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
What about the others?
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
Huh. Huh. What if I round everyone up so they're ready to escape once the golden rule is broken?
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never.
I'm letting you go. Let's get out of here together.
Oh, thank you. Now follow. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. He must be coming in through the door behind me. You distract him. Stay right here and keep him talking while I look for something I can use.
Wow.
What did you do with Scintilla? Where is she?
As if I'd tell you.
So that is how it's going to be. Oh well, this doesn't change anything for me. It's a shame, really. If you'd just done what you were supposed to, you'd have been looping through time forever until you gave up and killed yourself. Just like that soft-hearted pleb, Al.
You remember Al?
Come now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered everything. You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one loop to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you're a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I'd have preferred if you'd given me more time to enjoy the trappings of my success. How many extra days did you give me? Just the 3? Not many. But don't worry, I'm sure there'll be another useful idiot who comes along after you're dead. In any case, there's no escape for you except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Better to end it all now than find out what awaits you beyond that portal. So, you discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
So you asked me to figure out who was going to break the golden rule, knowing I would fail every time.
Of course. There's no way you could have succeeded. Every soul who has ever found themselves here has broken the golden rule eventually. It is inevitable. Man will always sin sooner or later. Any idiot could tell you this. But where others might see tragedy, I saw opportunity. As I told you the first time we met, I found a way to cheat death. By reliving the same day over and over again forever. And I will continue living long after your dust.
You knew there was a way out and even locked up your own daughter to keep it a secret. Why?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself?
You're going to die a painful death for this.
Do you really think you could take on a Decurion with that flimsy little bow?
I probably could, but I'm going to let her have this one.
Who? Scintilla? Where is she?
I'm right here, Father.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, we have to go. Hey, what's happening to you? That light, it's so bright.
Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al.
Al Worth? I came in here to find you.
Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
I'm Scootchie. I was hoping you'd know who I am.
Funny you should ask. I was just reading an old tablet I found here. Well, trying. My Latin is kinda rusty, but the last entry mentioned someone with the same name. It described an event about 2,000 years ago. Someone with your name appeared in the city out of the shrine of Proserpina. Freed an imprisoned woman named Scintilla, who then murdered her captor, breaking some kind of ancient law. It said the attack caused golden statues to come alive, hunting down everyone in the city and turning them into gold.
Well,
Apparently, the only person to survive was Scintilla, while the stranger disappeared in a flash of light.
Actually, that was me.
What? You're saying you were here 2,000 years ago?
Oh my god.
I'm not sure I understand.
When I first arrived here in the present day, I found your corpse hanging from a noose.
I'm sorry, come again?
I still have the suicide note you carved into this tablet. Here.
Let me see that. God, why does this writing look so familiar? I've spent a lifetime in this place going around and around in circles. This is disturbing, but I don't understand how I could have written it.
was written by a different version of you. I changed the past and your fate.
I'm not following.
I helped Scintilla kill the man who opened a time portal and drew you back in time, preventing it from ever happening.
So you're saying, because a man from 2,000 years ago is dead, he never created a time portal, so I never went through it, and that's why I don't remember any of this.
Hey, you're getting it?
I guess you saved my life then, as well as helping that poor woman to escape. That's a lot to take in.
Enough talk. How about we get out of this place?
Maybe we can escape through the same aqueduct Scintilla used, if we can find it.
It's right here in the cistern. Follow me. Dang. Oh. Is he behind me? No? Alright. Oh. Hey.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
Good
You
idea.
go on ahead. I'll be there soon.
Oh my gosh. Whirlwind. Hey, Karen.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al?
I found him. He'll be here in a moment.
Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
I discovered the ruins of an ancient underground city.
Really? Sounds amazing. And did you... Oh, look. Here he comes. Ow. It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an event 2,000 years ago. Supposedly, the city was destroyed when a woman murdered a tyrant with the help of... well, my new friend here. I know how crazy that sounds.
Maybe not that crazy. That woman. I don't suppose her name was... Scintilla?
How could you... What?
She left a tablet of her own. I stumbled across it while I was waiting here. I think she meant for you to read it. Here, take a look. I don't know what became of you, or if you'll ever read this, but I want you to know that I will never forget you, or what you did for me. It pains me that so many dear friends were not so fortunate. Ulpius, Sentia, Lucretia, Horatius, Galerius, poor Dooley, and the others. But please understand, their blood is on my hands, not yours. I will live with the consequences of my actions, and all I can do is move forward, trying to show others the same compassion you showed me. I promise you that saving my life will not be for nothing. Scintilla.
Damn.
Sounds like you meant a lot to her. I'd love to hear your story, but first, you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Karen. Fairy. I picked up on it. I'm ready. Take us home. If I'd walked away from Scintilla. So, okay. So I got ending 2. There's a 4th. I'm assuming longer ending. Ending 1 and 3 and 4. I still need to achieve. Huh. Oh. Wow, I was not expecting Sentius to do that. Shit. Who the hell is Dooley? Okay. So now if I continue... Oh, it's gonna hurt my heart to do this. I shouldn't even talk to her. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? Oh no. Or I go back where it came. She's not gonna remember.
You.
Yep.
I'm behind the only. I'm done. There were.
I'm sorry, but if I let you go, everyone else is gonna
What?
die.
No, you can't just leave me here. How can you be so heartless?
I know. It wasn't worth the lives of everyone here. It's dangerous. Let me see. I don't know if I can do that. Escape isn't worth the lives of everyone here.
I hate you.
Ah,
I
sorry.
spit on you.
Sorry.
I hope Dis drags you to Tartarus.
This nuts. Can I leave now? I gotta go. Sorry, lady. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. I deserve that. Is it this way? Yes. Oh. I feel so bad. But, you know. There's some people who should feel worse that don't. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Where is Equitia? I've been wanting to talk to her for like 8 years now.
Isn't
Fear
the
is
great
proof
temple
of a
majestic?
degenerate mind.
A new face, Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
I've been asking people about how they wound up here trying to find a pattern.
Interesting. I'm not sure why you're telling me, but you've come to the right person. Did you find a pattern then? What have you noticed?
Some people mentioned a coin.
Yes, I suppose that could be something. But then most of us do tend to carry coins on our person, don't we? What else?
Some people mentioned a river.
Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
Some people mention memory lapses.
That's true. I know I wasn't entirely sure how I wound up here. It's as I feared. I think I understand what poor Livia has been going through. Let me ask you this. Did you happen to encounter a stranger in the forest before you arrived here?
I did. A young woman.
And did you happen to catch her name?
Karen.
I see. And was this Karen by any chance wearing a hood?
She was wearing a hoodie. How could you have known that?
Because I've seen her before. There's something I think you should see. I think you'd better follow me to the baths.
Oh. Alright, I'll meet you in the baths.
But don't follow too closely. We can't have people thinking we're bathing together.
Why not? No, wait. Oh, okay. We're just friends, I swear. Nice. I don't think anyone saw us. Oh. Yep, priestess. Let me do one of those. Can you stop with that? All right. Oh, wow. Wish I could save you. That's fine, you won't drown. Okay. Oh. Hello.
All right, you're here. You were asking how I knew the young woman you met by the river was wearing a hood. Here, look down at the bottom of the baths. It's a little hard to make out in this light. If only we could see.
Oh.
Oh, what a marvelous lamp. But do you see it? Somebody waking up by a river in a forest to find a hooded figure with a coin. It's just as you described it, only your pronunciation is a little off. The name you heard wasn't Karen. It was Charon, as in Charon, the
Charon.
ferryman of the dead. Charon, who, in exchange for the right coin, helps the souls of the newly deceased cross the Styx, the river that separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, but all I found was some loose change. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute.
Oh my god.
Sorry if I sounded cagey, it's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. I take it you know what this means.
This place is the underworld.
I'm afraid so. It's all starting to make sense. All these people whose last memory was running from the fires toward the river. It seems none of them escaped with their lives after all. Perhaps we should be grateful they don't remember their final moments. It also tells us that the Golden Rule is the work of Pluto, the god of the underworld, and why his epithet has always been Father of Riches. I know it's a lot to take in, and you look as if you have questions, so I'll try to answer them if I can.
So we're dead.
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
Yeah, there was Orpheus and Eurydice. Well, Orpheus trying to rescue Eurydice. What can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Why didn't you all recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river, but that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us, and that might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
That's all the questions
Now
I had.
that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter. Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft, and even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
I've noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you
Hades.
wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head-on.
Is everyone so blunt where you're from? Oh. That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the Golden Rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but You are no Hercules.
I know. Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold.
Are you telling me that you can?
Mm-hmm.
I won't pretend to understand exactly what that means, but if that's true, then perhaps you stand a chance. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been sealed shut for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize. That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Where would I find the Roman plaque?
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten, and there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argues there is only one true god. Theirs, of course.
This dang cult.
They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy. But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
Nice. Where would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, will be
Have
able
not
to
seen
tell
him.
us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago.
Great.
But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
And mystery plaque.
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other 3 will illuminate the way.
I hope so. Tell me more about escaping with the help of Proserpina, or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
So she might be willing to work against him to help us.
If the stories are true, then I suppose so. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now.
But,
Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
It's always the same voice, and she's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit. Or perhaps... Perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself.
God, I hope so.
If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
I've already found a way to escape.
Truly? Then why are you still here?
Because that path will result in the deaths of nearly everyone here, and I don't want that.
Ah, I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us, friend. I admire your compassion. Truly. Thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who.
Voldemort. Alright, I'm ready to get started.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
Yeah, I'll talk with Livia first.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin.
Yeah.
May Fortuna guide you. Although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
Thank you, Aquatia.
Ave.
Ave.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
Oh, hey.
Sad. Am I going to die?
So this is Dooley.
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
something like that, but
If I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you, Galerius. Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, alright?
All right, Galerius. See you then.
Hey, Dooley. Hey, Galerius.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked.
Yeah.
How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
I'm reliving the same day over and over again.
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
Like Sisyphus, how so?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you.
Nice.
Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever. But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like they all were.
Yeah, at least there's that.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right? Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. What's your story?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What did you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that
They
all?
said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability?
Yes. They said I have to live here now and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Yeah, I'll read it for you. That's a lot. Oh, okay. Magistrate Sentius to Duilius. I am writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising from your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian Hannibal some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have on several occasions been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to this community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated, should you experience further lapses in memory.
What does it say?
It says they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you breaking the golden rule.
My treasure.
What treasure?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Fair enough.
Don't you just love springtime?
Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me.
Yep.
He said, he gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found. All I remember is now nobody looks up.
Do you know a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
Well, I can try. Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Maybe it's time we had a new magistrate.
Like Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
I'll see what I can do. I'll be going now.
Bye-bye.
I don't need to know what you think about the Golden Rule. I know everyone is silly about it. Dooley's note. I did not do it. Dooley. Alright. Bag of coins. Nope, that was a jug. I'm stupid. Yes, he does. Hey. What in the hell is this? Dude. Taking that. Oh. There's a zip line there. That's cool. Where the heck am I? Taking that. That is not the last bottle of wine in the city. Oh, let me. Oh. There we go. A little better. Where am I? Ooh. Oh. Huh, I was lucky. Wooden carving. The Ichthos symbol. Just nature. Yep. Might be. Might be religious. There's another one. Alright. Oh. Looks like it might be religious in nature. You don't say. Anything else religious in nature? Frig. Alright, well. Cool, cool. Oh. Can I... Partially eaten loaf of bread, it's still fresh. Whoever owns it probably hasn't finished with it. I'm gonna leave it there. Stone disc. Circular stone disc with a symbol of a fish carved into it. Looks like it might be religion. Okay, yeah, it's all religious. Another symbol. Okay. Wow, that was extremely lucky. What's up here? this way. Oh. Okay. So it's down there. And then the priestess. I heard you. What's over here? The bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Is this Livia's residence? Oh, no, from Livia. The place is called Accursed. Here, Tydeos offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees. And the 49 Bellides, who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again, with incessant labor, the water they have lost. Interesting. Very interesting. I've already taken enough stuff from here. Oh, yeah. Purple carrots. Lararium. Don't want to talk to her.
Cerberus lifts his triple head and lets out his threefold braying.
Livia, would you stop muttering like Medea over a cauldron? You'll scare away my customers.
They follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, but they are ignorant.
This again. You're in a world of your own, aren't you?
Virgil.
Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls. But it does not notice the crowds that come.
I figured it out. I know why we are here. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
Oh no. The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
Probably.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace.
Disnuts.
As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives, and still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Alright. What is this? Hilarious. For Magistrate, countered by I would rather drink Aurelia's special brew. Wow. Come on. Is that necessary? Galerius' chest. Poem by Galerius. My life has been tortuous, as the 7 labors of Hercules. Orphaned, defeated, and enslaved, yet I would suffer it all again gladly, because each loss wound and tragedy brought me to you, radiant as Rome's sacred flame. Your bright warmth nourishes my soul. I know I can never touch you, any more than hold Vesta's flame, but to watch and love you from afar, bathing in your glow is enough. Who is that for? Prototype. Oh. Zipline. Nice. Cavalry helmet. Horatius's chest. What's known as a scutum. Cool. Must belong to Horatius. Yes, it does. Oh, I don't want to talk to you. What's that graffiti over there? I know. The only way out is whoever wrote this was interrupted, perhaps tragically. Puh. Caveat emptor. Let the buyer beware. Yep.
I love your clothes. So exotic.
I really don't want to talk to you, but let's quick save.
Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. You're not like any Roman man I've ever seen. You seem so refined, so civilized.
Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person.
How dare you? Get away from me, you pig.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. Wouldn't mind leaving her behind. Alright, now let's... Oh, Ulpius. Can I talk to you real quick?
Shalom.
Shalom. Who are you gonna vote for?
Sentius, I suppose. I'd have to be insane to vote for Malleolus after what he did to me.
True, fair enough.
All right, friend.
Need to talk to Galerius, but first... Malleolus... Oh yeah, I gotta talk about that too. I have the Roman plaque, so let me... I can talk to Georgius. Oh, perfect, actually. Galerius.
I saw you slide down that rope before. Very impressive. And strange, too, since that device you used is exactly the same as one I've been working on for weeks. Oh, of course. It's because I already gave it to you in a previous time loop, isn't it?
Hey, he catches
Anyway,
on
I'm
fast.
sorry to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing to do me a favor?
Yeah, what do you need?
Well, I've been trying to get this rare flower from the rock spire in the middle of the lake. It's too steep to climb, so I hung a rope over the lake and made this pulley device, only I couldn't quite summon the nerve to use it. Do you think you could use the device again and try to get that flower for me?
Wait, why do you need it?
I don't really feel
Oh,
comfortable
he
talking
wants to
about
give it to someone. Give a little crush on someone.
Look, I'll tell you everything if you get it for me. All right?
Oh, sure, why not?
Oh, thank you. It would help me a lot. There's no rush, just whenever you get a chance.
I'll see what I can do. I wanted to ask you, ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I've bounced the idea around once or twice, mainly as a way of getting Dooley set free. God knows Sentius is never going to do it. But from what I hear, Malleolus has the elections stitched up. Nobody's going to take him on and win. And maybe that's not such a bad thing. I mean, he talks a lot about freedom, so I'm hoping if he's elected, he'll release Dooley from his cell. That's good enough for me.
I guess we'll have to wait and see whether Malleolus frees him or not.
I suppose you're right. All right, friend. Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Okay, so how am I going to do this? Zipline. 2 eggs. Pluto, father of riches. Huh. Okay, let me...
Salve!
Salve. What does that say? Don't relatives to get a chance to finish our run. Okay, so how do I do this? Let's just put it right there, and then... Oh, I missed. A tip jump, thanks. Whose tongues? Right, I'm gonna do that again. Alright, second try is the charm. Oh, no! Just bounced me right off, wouldn't even let me climb it. Alright. Shalom. Third time's the charm. No! God bless it. Okay. Alright, fourth time's the charm. That was too early. Son of a... Shalom. I will do this. I will get it done. Fifth time is the charm. Yep. Aha. Alright. Get a flower for Galerius. Yep. Aha. Oh. Okay. Alright, Galerius. Yes. The priestess. Galerius.
Salve again, my Sisyphean friend.
Salve.
Now, what's on your mind?
I had the flower you wanted.
Brilliant! You did it! Well done! This is going to make her so happy. Equitia, I mean. Now I just have to figure out how to give it to her. What I really want to do is walk up to her, give her the flower, and confess I've been madly in love with her since the moment we met. But on the other hand, I can't shake the feeling that the consequences could be terrible.
What's the worst that could happen?
You mean, aside from her execution? You see, Equitia is a Vestal priestess, meaning she's taken a vow of chastity, the breaking of which would be an extremely serious affront to the gods and a capital offense. Even if she was just suspected of being unchaste, it could lead to her execution. Unchaste Vestals get buried alive.
Oh my god.
Oh, and I'd get flogged to death for good measure. But at the same time, she's just so kind and graceful, and I feel so much love for her that if I don't tell her, it'll burn a hole in my chest. I don't know what
Do you
to do.
mind?
What do you think? What would you do?
Thank you, Jesus. I think you should tell her how you feel. Consequences be damned.
Now that I hear you say that out loud, I hear how crazy it is. I think maybe I need to be a bit more cautious.
Obvious. What are
What I
you
need
doing?
is a go-between. Someone who can tell her how I feel and find out how she feels without risking her life. What do you say? Do you think you could help me one more time?
Alright.
Wonderful! Now, all I need you to do is give her the flower and tell her it's from a secret admirer. Tell her I'll keep my distance and that I just want her to know that she's loved.
That's sweet. I'll do it.
Thank you. Come back as quick as you can and tell me what she says.
Alpius, you good, dude? I am a matchmaker. I will make a match. Where is Equitia? Oh. God, I'm stupid.